Cowart, FTE 211, 1911 Master Armorers course. Today's 12 July 2025. This is assignment 1, week 1. In the first part of this video, I needed to conduct outside research and identify at least 2 facts regarding the history of the 1911 that weren't discussed during our lecture, and defend these points, why these points are noteworthy, and how they led to the platform that is seen today. And then part 2 is going over why the military chose to transition from the 45 ACP to the 9mm Parabellum that we see today. Part 1, and this is according to an article on InsideSafariLand.com, 19 Things You Didn't Know About the 1911 by Travis Pike. Part of the 1911 design is it's extremely sturdy. We knew that it went through a rigorous testing procedure, 6,000 times fired, but what they didn't talk about was how its competition did and exactly how they went about firing it. And it was 6,000 successive rounds, and whenever it got too hot, they just dunk it in a barrel of water and then continue on their way. So how did that affect its current design? Well, it hasn't changed that much, if at all, besides cosmetic for the most part, to make it a little bit more ergonomic. But other than that, there hasn't been a lot of changes. And why? Because it had 0 malfunctions in 6,000 firings, with the only means of cooling it dunking into water. Other ones had at least 30 failures, some of the competition. Another thing is it was the first successful short recoil automatic pistol, and it influenced designs of automatic pistols. Short recoil was a great design that could be made extremely reliably. And as a third kind of attaboy, the grip safety wasn't actually John Moses Browning's idea. The 1909 had a simple frame safety, and when presented to the United States Cavalry, they took a look at it and they wanted a grip safety. And so the grip safety that we see today was a result of the cavalry requesting that, and that was added for the M1909 and the M1910, and then obviously the M1911. And that grip safety, although probably not necessary, in fact, if we look at our discussion this week, a lot of people talk about that's the one thing they would remove from the design. It's still there today, and part of that is because of how well it worked for the Cav back then. Part 2 is based off information I researched from an article on pewpewtactical.com, 9mm versus 45 ACP, debate finally settled by Brandon Harville. The primary factor for choosing the 9mm over the 45 ACP, going from the 1911 to the 9mm Beretta, and in the case of the Army now the SIG P320, was not cost. Normally when you think of the military, everything seems like it's cost determinant, but it's not. Cost was an issue, but the big deal is that the 9mm performed pretty well in comparison to the 45 ACP. It gives you more capacity, less recoil, which allows the shooter to get on target faster after each successive shot, and it has superior penetration to the 45 ACP. Remember, when we're talking about the military, they're using full metal jacket ball rounds. They're not using any kind of advanced rounds or modern modified rounds. So this is based off full metal jacket ball rounds. And so you've got cheaper, you've got less recoil, more capacity, and better penetration. For an offensive force like the military, penetration, being able to possibly shoot through a wall or a thin door, is superior than the defensive power that a 45 ACP gives you, which does impact harder, but that penetration is more of a offensive-minded force. And that is it.